What's up guys, Philip the Titan here. Let's go ahead and take a look at my daily race, which was at Spa. It was a wet race, light rain, but the ground itself was very soaked. I ended up using intermediates instead of wets to kind of give an idea of grip. And to be honest with you, I felt more comfortable on the intermediates, so I ran it. I ended up starting on pole position. I had the fastest lap in this lobby. So let's see how I did. Let's go. Starting from pole position on a wet race, I was really nervous. I was thinking these guys are just going to hit me from behind and it's over. But don't worry, no one hit me from behind and I still made mistakes. This is our livery that we've created, basing it off the blue and white, which is heavily inspired by a company called GMG Racing. I love the liveries of their cars. I make a mistake right here. I overcook it and almost go into the wall and immediately fumble my whole race. I was able to recover immediately, still hold the lead. But from that point on I knew, get it together, stay focused, and be very light with the wheel and the throttle. So I was coming up to the straight and I'm thinking, okay, how do I outpace this guy behind me? This guy's really fast. And I thought, okay, it's going to have to come down to outbraking. But outbraking in this wet condition is almost near impossible. You can see a sliding lip right there. You can see him sliding. He lost speed. It felt like we were driving on ice. Yeah, this first lap had me on the seat of my pants. I was just immediately like, oh my god, if I fumble, this is over. It's just a daily race, but I take the daily races quite seriously because I'm not as fast as some of the manufacturer racers and some of the Nations Cup. So I like to use the daily races as my chance to kind of build up my skill and get better and faster. And a wet Spa was definitely a race to practice. But for the most part, first lap, he was on me for a while until I was able to finally start pulling away. Still on me, he's holding it, he's not letting off at all. And I'm thinking coming up to this last chicane, I'm thinking, okay, how do I do this? Because I don't want to lose too much speed, but I don't want to fly off track either. So I just brake. Look at him, he's all loosey-goosey. And then coming into the second lap, I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to make mistakes here at the hairpin. I don't want to overcook it again. So I was very nervous a lot of this race. I'm trying to avoid consequences of my actions. So you can see I'm driving a little nervous, but I'm trying to keep the speed. I think my biggest worry was getting caught up with penalties. I didn't want to get caught up with penalties at all. And now that we kind of have a little bit of a gap on each other, look, I was sliding right now. He was too. He has a penalty now. Avoiding penalties in GTSport has been actually one of the hardest things to do for me. It's very easy to get a penalty, which is very weird. I don't like that at all about GTSport. I mean, you get a penalty for anything. visuals of this game are just outstanding. That's why I love commentating these cinematic pictures. It's beautiful to watch. As I'm commentating, I'm taking in the visuals myself. But now that I got a final gap on him and he has a penalty, this kind of gives me the chance to break away now. Now that we're in lap 3, we kind of are a little more warmed up, more comfortable sitting in the cockpit. And you can tell that we're kind of pushing it now. So I went ahead and used no traction control, but it would be a lie to say I didn't use it at all. I did switch on, depending on the corner, I would add some traction control, always about 1, to kind of help me out. So I was constantly back and forth. And in GT3 cars, you know, traction control is available. And you can now see that I've put a major gap on this guy. I mean, he's not even behind me anymore. I don't feel no threats. I don't feel no competition. I kind of just feel, okay, it's time to relax and gain control of the car while we're sliding. But how can we carry more speed? So I figured in the straights I would use my full advantage of speed, and in the corners I would balance the throttle to keep me moving, so less braking. And I would use downshifting to use engine braking to help me kind of break the car's speed without sliding. And you can see the gap now is large. There's no way he's gonna catch me. But as we're in the last section of the track, in my head I'm really thinking, okay, he's still there. He has put some pressure in the sense of he's closing the gap little by little. I'm thinking, okay, coming up to the last chicane, I need to really try to carry some speed. I need to brake as late as possible. And already now for the last couple laps, I've been trying to see how late of a brake I can get on this corner. So this chicane is really tight and has like an uphill lip, so you got to be really careful. So as we come into lap 4, I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. And as I hit this rouge, I'm thinking, don't fuck up. I just keep using the top speed of the straights to kind of help me regain position over and over again. Now, as we come up to our lap 5, we have the largest gap. So I tell myself, all right, come on, Titan, we need to relax, get comfortable with the car, carry speed, and that's the most important part. I noticed that I start to lose a lot of traction. I wasn't sure if the tires were finally starting to kind of wear out and give. I wasn't sure. But I did know, being in lap 5, I needed to go ahead and kind of put a larger gap at this point now. And I'm thinking it's time to lay the hammer down and not make a mistake. The ground seemed very, very slippery at this point, and I'm thinking, okay, this is it. I can totally lose it, and even though I have a large gap, if I lose it hard enough, this is it. By this point, I'm already losing a lot of fuel. And I know I need to pit. Look at that. The rear end was completely sliding. I just have no grip. The tires are almost dead. I know now what I have to do. The thing about the Porsche is probably the most well-balanced car, so in situations like this, the Porsche gives you the ability to fight it. But it's inevitable. We must pit. Otherwise, we're going to end up losing the car completely. And we're down on fuel. So we pull into the pits. I wish you were able to enhance your pit crew to help them get faster and faster with your ability and your rating. So we change our tires, stick with intermediates. Then we need to get refueling. I don't go full tank, obviously. I just get enough to finish the race. Let's get the hell out of there. But already, we lost a lot of time, and we pull out right next to number 2. I'm able to regain position on him for a second, then lose it in the beginning of lap 6. He takes it from me. Is a fast driver, but he is not a faster driver. My car is technically faster for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm able to pull from him in this little drag race. Pass. The sad part is that I was on the wrong side of the track to be trying to pass him on this chicane corner, S-turn. This is when things get a little radical. Conditions already have me messed up. The tires are definitely not warmed up. I have a little more fuel, so I'm heavier. I don't know how I'm gonna pass him. You can already see that I'm sliding. I mean, it's a full-on ice rink out there. Keep trying to pass him, but every corner he just closes the door on me. I'm thinking, fuck, I'm gonna have to take second place. And I don't want that. I came here to win. I didn't come to participate, to take second, third, fourth, fifth, last. I came here to win. So I'm waiting for him to make one mistake, just one. One mistake is all I need, and I'm going to capitalize on it. You can see that I'm right on him. I make that mistake, I take the apex, he closes the door, I tap him, so I exit the track, but I slow down so I don't receive a penalty, and I did not. I did not receive a penalty. There was no advantage on that. Now that we're on the final lap, I'm thinking, he's putting a gap on me. I can't do this. Like, I started to actually doubt myself and my ability. And I knew my top speed wasn't enough. If he was going to close every door on me, I'd have to get rowdy and dirty in this race at this point. By this point on the straight, he has a gap on me, and I'm thinking, I can't close the door. I'm going to have to outbrake him. So I start downshifting and using my brakes and trying to use every method I could. This is when it got really stressful. I was mentally stressed out by this. Because I did not want to lose. I wanted first place. I wanted to be the #1 driver of this race. I held it the whole time. The 7th lap is where I bit the dust. And I was really disappointed in my ability. I knew I should have practiced pit stops a lot more in other races. Because I could have probably went a little longer on tires. But if I would have went longer on tires, I probably would have lost. Maybe I could have just went with less fuel. I could have finished the race with less fuel for sure. So, in the end, there was a lot of mistakes that caused me to exit the pit and him regain that position. But at this point now, I know, no fucker, this is my race. And I'm now closing the door on him. And I'm putting the pressure, I'm letting him know I'm right behind him, that this is not over yet. We are going to battle this out to the end. And I get right on his ass and I say, what's up, motherfucker, I'm here. I'm pissed by this point. Pissed. Because I know it's my win. He tried to close the door on me again and knock me off track, but I stay right on him. Now this is the controversial end. He actually contacted me on Twitter about this. He went all the way off while I had the apex. And when he tried to come back into the corner, I tapped him. But in the end, winning is winning, and that's just the way it is. In GT Sport, the daily races, if you don't drive with everything, you will lose every race. That's just the way it is. That's how they drive. There's no way around it. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for joining me for this race. This race is a lot of fun for me. It was very emotional, it was very competitive, and it was very exciting. Driving in the wet is 100% the coolest way of racing because it takes full skill. And me and him may have had our differences on the last lap, last corner, but in the end, we talked it out and we both said that we had a great effing race. We both loved it because it was just fun. And if you're not having fun, then what the hell are you doing? Honestly. Anyways, guys, take care. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe if you liked it and that thumbs up. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.